Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Bunk and Pick podcast. I'm Bunk, and wait a minute. We got no pick today. Pick
it's the
is
Medium G.
You got Medium G.
Hey, oi.
I called him Meaty last time. I don't even know where Meaty came from. Pick had life interrupt him today, as things do. So it's going to be the Bunk and Medium G day on the old Bunk
and everybody's been waiting for this day. It's the dream team.
Yeah, I think they have been waiting, to be honest with you. I'm excited as hell. Because you know why? Because I can talk.
Well, you got free reign.
I can talk baseball without somebody busting my balls.
I just thought of that. We can talk about Pick.
We can talk his crap.
Anybody else?
He hates it when I talk about the Yankees. He rolls his eyes. He makes stupid friggin' comments. And
did you see? Did Judge hit back-to-back bombs 4 games in a row to get to 50?
It's 51 now, baby.
You heard that, Nick, wherever you are out there.
51. Oh, we're gonna get to that in just 1 second. So yeah, I do want to talk Yankees because I'm gonna tell you something. They're friggin' crushing. But we do have Medium G. We're gonna talk a little baseball. We're gonna talk a little college football. We had week 0 with a big upset. We gotta talk. Gary, we got to talk fantasy football because I don't know about you. I know shit about it, and I'm trying to learn it before our draft this week. We'll talk a little bit about that.
When is our draft?
I believe it's Wednesday.
Okay.
I don't even know what that means. We're going to get into that.
Today, for all I knew.
I'm freaking Googling what the hell does a draft mean? What am I doing?
My phone was about to just blow up the other day with all. We had 2 or 3 group texts going just constantly, so I just turned both of them off.
It was awesome. I don't even know what they're. I'm clueless, totally cool. We got to get the boomer. The boomer's our expert, and he was kind of showing it in the text. I was going to talk about Big G. He was. We thought maybe he could join us. We wanted to talk about his skating adventures that lasted, I believe, one practice. And we'll talk a little NFL and whatever else comes up. So first, we got to talk baseball. So yesterday, my New York Yankees, were playing the Colorado Rockies. And actually, they didn't sweep them. They won 2-3. But Judge hit 2 home runs yesterday, so he's at 51. But here's what happened. So Soto comes up. I think it was the 7th inning. He hits a bomb. Judge followed him. A bomb. Stanton follows him. Bomb off the same friggin' pitcher. You know that kid, he's a younger, the Rockies have a young team. The kid knew as soon as he released the ball, you could just tell he was like, oh shit, it's gone. It's been a long time since I've seen 3 in a row.
What was the score of the game while it was happening? Did it make an impact?
4-3.
When it started.
Oh
wow! So it made a huge impact.
So it was a close game, and they have not. The Rockies actually blew them out the second game, which was kind of surprising. But they have a kid in the rotation. Their kind of rotation's a little off. We got one starter that's kind of a spot that's open. The kid's not bad, but he's given up a lot of runs. He got absolutely annihilated in the second game. But they're back, man. I can tell you, it was fun. It's fun watching them hit the home runs like that. Because he's on a friggin' roll, and he's batting, I think, Judge is like 333, 334.
That's good.
It's friggin' amazing, man. But
especially for today's game, that's awesome.
Oh, and average, I like the average, because a lot of guys hit home runs, and he does hit home runs. But and Soto's the same way. Soto's like at 300. But those guys hit the ball. I mean, they're actually getting on base and hitting the ball, which is really, really nice. Now, the rest of the team has kind of sucked lately, but they got those 2 guys kind of carrying them. So we hope they carry him into the glory land.
Look at these stats. He's hitting 333, 51 bombs, 122 RBIs, 465 on base percentage, and he's leading the team with 153 hits.
It's friggin' amazing.
Wow.
And if you remember back, he came out of the gates in an absolute crap.
Yeah.
He was getting. Do you remember he was getting booed at home in April because he came out, and come on, the Yankee fans are friggin' brutal. But they booed him. They were booing him because he was striking out and not hitting the ball. Oh my God, he's turned it up, man. I like him. He's a good dude.
How's he doing?
Who's that?
Stanton.
Stanton's actually doing better. He's
back up a little bit. I know he went through a big lull there.
He is, and he gets on streaks. He's on a streak where he's actually hitting. He's not striking out as much, and he's getting some base hits. He's starting to hit some homers here the last few games. So if they can get him rolling, Soto's a friggin' ridiculous for a 25-year-old guy, man. He's that is. I don't know if the Yankees are going to re-sign him. I believe what I've heard is he loves it in New York, but rightfully so. He's going for the money, and I don't blame him at all for that. I mean, I
think he would leave, but he's in a great spot. He's proving himself for the team with all the money right now, unless the Dodgers come and steal him or something.
Well, I mean, they say they have the money, but I mean, they signed Judge to $300 and some million. I mean, Garrett Cole is coming up. I mean, he's getting. I don't know how much friggin' money the Yankees have. I guess they got enough. If they let him go, they're going to hear about it, especially if they go deep or win it this year. He is definitely
how
a
much
big part.
Not cap, but how much money would it open up for them if they traded Volpe instead? What's his contract look like?
Volpe's on a rookie contract. He didn't make anything.
He is.
Yeah, he's this.
I thought he was on like his first initial.
Nah, he don't.
Not a rookie. He played. Oh, so last year was his. Rookie. This is his technical rookie contract.
Well, this is second. This is second year for Volpe, but then he don't make anything. He's not hype. But you got some of the pitchers too. Stanton still makes a good amount of money. I think they have the money to sign him. But I mean, what do you think somebody like Soto? I mean, if they paid Judge $300 some million, I think Soto's at 25. He's a lot younger. I'm thinking he's gonna get a friggin' haul somewhere, man. Because he's consistent. He's done it everywhere.
Yeah, his stats look fantastic. I'm looking at him right now, and they're just across the board. Every number looking pretty good.
Yeah,
I mean, for today's game, his strikeout rate you can swallow and be like, okay, it's not horrible. It still strikes out quite a bit, but again, modern baseball, it's okay. I don't know. He would demand like. I mean, what teams can really even afford to put money in the ring on a guy like that?
I mean, you're talking about
$250 million at a minimum.
Oh no, I think he's going to be closer to $4 million. I think you're talking Mets, Dodgers, Yankees. I mean, there's not many. There's not many out there that can pay. I mean, I don't. It's a huge contract, and God dang, man, the Dodgers. I can't even see how they have any more money. They have literally paid everybody this year.
They would have to, drop someone or kind of create space for him.
Yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be fun. I'm hoping they go.
Soto, you're doing amazing at probably. I don't know. I don't know if it is anymore. It's still the hardest place to play. It probably still is up there, if not one of the hardest still. So where does he go? What stage it's like he's on the biggest stage right now.
And he honestly likes it there. He loves it. The fans are always, they love him out in the outfield. He seems like he's enjoying it. I think he likes playing with Judge because they both protect each other. So, it's helping both of them. But I don't know. I got to think the Yankees are going to dig deep and sign him. I mean, I would.
I think so.
He's just like, he's that good. I kind of doubted it.
He's gotten rid of a guy like that. I mean, it always seems like they at least make an attempt with a huge contract try.
They'll be in the running. Like I said, unless the Dodgers, which, I mean, honestly, the Dodgers are almost out of room. I mean, where are they going to put? That's kind of their, to me, that's their problem. They've got all those guys, and you can't play everybody. Now, the Dodgers just DFA'd Haywood out there. He's been playing forever. He's never been a hitter, but he's like a great defensive guy. And they just
money,
and they DFA'd him. So he's gone. But they got a lot of dudes. I don't know. It wouldn't make sense to me. And I don't know if I was Soto, I would actually want to go out there because he's like the man in New York right now.
I bet he would stay. I mean, I don't see it happening. The Yankees are going to throw money at him. They're going to do everything possible to keep him happy and keep him there. And why would he leave? Again, he's on the biggest and brightest stage of baseball. Like Yankees are a global brand.
Oh, I agree 100%. And their ownership will get absolutely fried if they don't at least put some huge contract on the table. So be interesting to see. So
games, what are we looking at? They're 77 and 54. What does that mean? How many games left?
Let's see. They play 162. I don't know. I can't do the math. 20,
I'm
20
looking for his schedule. Hold on.
God, that's horrible.
It's not that many here.
20 something, isn't it?
Yeah, let's see. I'm going to count real fast.
Got to be in the 22 something, 7, 21.
It's like 31, 30-ish.
Okay.
So, all right, we're last month of baseball pretty much for games wise. You could say, not counting the off days here. There's already one team eliminated from playoffs.
Oh God, those horrible White Sox. They're horrible.
They already have the elimination icon next to their name.
I know. And the sad thing is, I actually watched them play. But if you're watching them, they're like, I don't know how they lost that many games. They're not. Their record's horrible, but they're all pro players, and they're not like they're okay. I don't know why they've lost so much. To be honest with you, it's almost got to be a pitching thing.
When you see that happen, it's management. It's the whole thing's rotten. It's the whole fish. You can't just pin it on the players. These players, like you said, are professional players. They haven't shown a consistent enough resume or experience to be a judge or a Soto, to really perform at that level. But they are still good players.
Yeah, they're actually very good. I mean, I watched them play.
There's something really bad going on in that program.
Yeah, I don't think the atmosphere. I mean, 30. God dang, man, they only got 31 wins. That's friggin'. Yeah, that's horrific.
It's real bad.
God,
it's real bad.
That's bad. They're 44 games behind in their division. Holy shit. That doesn't even seem real at a pro level. But I mean their last 10 is 2-8. They've probably been doing that all year. That's kind of the problem. Yeah.
I've been on bad teams. I think overall in my whole baseball career, I was on more bad teams than good teams, probably a common denominator there, but you can feel the season like halfway through. You're like, my God, we cannot win. And it becomes like this animal that you just it's like the yips. It's like no matter what you do, you just lose, and you can't break out of it.
You can kind of see it. I think, when I was watching their games, you can see once they get behind, it's almost like it's over. I mean, they jump out, they get excited, they get some stuff. But once the game,
here we go again.
Yeah, or if it gets close and it's at the end, you can see they're almost like, we're done.
The fans are checked out. The players are checked out. The coach is like, good God, who else we got?
I know.
Almost an immediate thing.
I know. Well, surprisingly, as bad as the Oakland A's were, that I thought they're not great either. They're actually ahead of the freaking Angels, who are a perennial horrific team, which I don't understand because they actually do have money. I don't know where they spend it though. They have the weirdest free agent pickups I've ever seen out there.
So their management is so strange. It's like they don't ever play to win. It's like they're playing for just relevancy or something. Like it seems like it's been good enough for them to just have Trout on their team. Like that's been a win every year for them.
But think about it. They had Trout and Ohtani out there, and you're telling me you can't build a team around those two guys? That just doesn't even make sense.
It doesn't make sense at all. It's weird.
I don't understand it.
And we've been talking about this since the Rally Monkey.
I know.
2002, or I don't know what year that was. It's been forever.
Yeah, it's sad. I didn't realize they were actually behind the A's out there. They're a couple games behind the friggin' Athletics. That's brutal, man. That's
real bad.
Yeah, that's not good at all. So it should get good coming down to the end here. Seattle surprisingly fired their coach, who's been there. Scott Servais been there for 7-8 years, and they fired him because they're kind of faltering down at the end here. But man, I don't know if that doesn't seem like great timing to me. But
what is it with Seattle and always crumbling at the end?
They do.
It's so weird. It's not every single year, but more times than not. It's at the beginning of the year, you're like, Seattle looking pretty good, and they start playing, and you're like, oh, okay, Seattle's got a team. But I think I said this even in the podcast when we first started it. I was like, wait till the end. Seattle every time, just something happens. I don't know if they get nervous around, like get a few losses and maybe management starts like tightening up, or the culture in the locker room. Who knows what it is? But in Seattle, it's every year at the end. It's always a struggle to get there.
Yeah, and they've got a good team too. They've got some young guys. They shouldn't but they are definitely fall. They're in 3-7 in the last 10 games. So that manager change didn't do much for them. Rangers have just freaking fallen. I don't know if the Rangers though. I mean, they're pitching. They had all these guys that were supposed to come back, and I've yet to see any. I haven't seen any of these guys come off the IL here. They've been on there all. Why would you even do it now? It's kind of late in the season, but they still may be pulling some of their guys
back.
They're
not getting the playoffs, right?
I don't think so. I mean, they're pretty far. They're 12.5 behind in the wild card, so I think they're.
No, they would have to go on just a historic run here at the last 30 games.
Yeah, I believe they're done personally. And I was going to ask you though, because you're a baseball guy. So when I look at the standings, and I look at a team, God, I hate to do it. I'll take Boston. So they're 4.5 behind in the wild card, but they still have 31 games to go. But most of the time they're just going to get written off. And I'm always wondering, well, it's only 4 games. I mean, what are your thoughts on that?
Oh, they're right in it.
Especially they got to be, right?
Boston. Oh, yeah. 5, I mean, I always view it as 10 games. If you're 5 games back, it's going to take you 10 games of playing great baseball to get you back in the mix. So they have, if the problem is, though, you can't let it snowball. You've got to at least keep pace with the guys ahead of you, too. But you have to win series 2-1 to have a chance. And then by the end, yeah, you could do it. It's pretty easy. I mean, there will be a team up here. It's Minnesota, Kansas City, Baltimore. One of those teams will just self-implode. It happens every year. One team just struggles at the very, very end and blows it. Mm-hmm. So they really are looking at, they put together 30 games. If they can win 20 games and lose 10, I think they got a real shot at it.
See, I always think that too. But if I start reading some of these analysts and these guys, they literally start writing guys off at this time of the year if they're not like within a couple games. And it's like, I mean, even if you even look at the Mets, right? They're in 3rd place in their division, but they're only 2.5 behind in the wild card. So to me, they're like right in the thick of this thing. But I mean, they got to keep winning, obviously. So I think the wild card is going to be a pretty good run this year. It looks like the divisions, for the most part. I mean, freaking Arizona, man, they're only 3 behind the Dodgers at this point, which is unbelievable considering how they started. I don't know that they'll catch Los Angeles because the Dodgers don't lose much. Brewers are they're done. I mean, they're killing everybody. They're already 10 ahead of St. Louis. Phillies are on a friggin' run, right? They're at 76 wins. They're 6 ahead of Atlanta. And that friggin' Houston Astros, son of a gun, you can't ever count them out, man. They're the scariest team out there. I hope the
burn in the side of baseball now for a while.
I hope the Yankees don't have to play because when they get to the playoffs, Houston they're good, man. Sadly, I don't want to vote for them or root for them, but they're pretty good. I was kind of
playing at their park too. Left field's like 300 feet or something. It's those Crawford boxes. It's like you could throw a ball out of there today, Dad. Standing at home plate.
I know. Yeah, I know. I saw it when I was down there. So I think we're coming. I like my baseball. I've hung with it this year. Sometimes it's such a long season. I fade out a little bit, but I've been in it this year, man. I've been excited about it this year. I watch a lot. This is about
the time I start getting into it right now. It's once football hit in Austin, we finally got below triple digits. So the fall is here. And the weather has changed. So now baseball playoffs, every game is more important. So I might actually watch some games to see if these teams like the Orioles, they could just crumble. You brought up the Red Sox before. They're on a 3-game losing streak. So that lead could have been a 3-game.
Yeah, that's true.
Behind.
That's true. Yeah.
So 1-2 more losses. Now they're 7 out. That's a different story.
Yeah, they're probably gone at that point. I think if they and I don't know who they're playing in this series. They're playing. Well, look, they're playing. So they're playing Intercom. They're playing Toronto, and Toronto's not doing great. But you're not going to sweep Toronto. I mean, I just don't see that happening. So that's going to be interesting. I'm excited. I know so a little bit of news. The Yankees are playing the your old team, Washington Nationals. And I believe the Nationals are pulling up Dylan Cruz to play this week or today.
He's getting the September call up.
He's getting the
4
call
days
up
early.
It's pretty early. I mean, he just literally just got drafted, so he's coming up.
I can't remember if there was like, I don't know if there was like contract stuff, like pulling a guy up early as compared to when it's actually like officially September and they expand the rosters. I wonder if there is there must be a reason why they're bringing him up early.
You know, they might be. I'd have to. I can't remember when the rosters do expand here pretty soon. And they're out of it.
September 1st.
Yeah, they're out of it, so they might just be pulling guys.
Well, I was curious though if it had an impact maybe on like his rookie contract or something.
No, I think that only I don't know if you remember when back when like Chris Bryant and those guys were rookies.
Yeah.
So there was a big thing. The Cubs, he was killing it in spring training, and the Cubs sent him back down. And they sent him back. This. Yeah, remember they sent him back down long enough for him to not lose that, for him to still be considered a rookie the next year.
Yeah.
So it's pretty early in the season when they actually do that. I don't know what the exact date is, but yeah, that was.
I do remember that.
Remember that? Oh man, everybody was
weird. They were good that year too.
It was. I mean, he came and
Well, that's why they were doing it, because they wanted to keep that whole team together.
They did.
Schwarber.
Yeah, and they didn't want. Let's be honest, they didn't want to pay him either. I mean, they're not stupid. Course. It's a business decision. So good stuff.
Was Javi Baez? Was that also his rookie? I think he might have came after.
Baez might have come after. With Schwarbs was there, but Schwarber didn't play much. He was like they had just, because I think he was a catcher in college, so they just started putting him in left field, and he was. God, remember how bad he was in left field? Good Lord, he couldn't even. He was bad, man.
He could just hit.
He could hit, and he was a bigger guy then. He slimmed down a lot, and he's doing well over in Philly. So good for him. I like that. The Cub team was a fun team. A lot of young guys. They've all.
It was always funny because people were so excited for Javier Baez. I think this was a few years after, but he came up, and he even to this day he never did good. Like, not even for one season. I don't think. I don't even know. He's got a huge contract. So I was watching Detroit play, and the 2 games I saw, he just sat on, he was on the bench. He's not hurt. He was benched. And I'm wondering what are they going to do with him? I mean, eat his contract, because he cannot hit. The guy just freaking can't hit. Nobody's going to take him. They owe him way too much money. So, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see what they do. But I was shocked that he didn't. I know they sit guys out for a game, but when you sit him out 2 games, he's being sat out. Yeah, no, he's legitimately like average. He's a below average.
Oh God, he's not good, and he did great with the Cubs because he's very good on defense. Never could actually. He struck out. I don't think defensively he was good.
I'd have to go look at his stats for the year, but I remember him striking out tons and looking like bad striking out.
No, he's always been a horrible batter, but he was phenomenal. He's a really good fielder, but he never could. He always had the weirdest swing, and you wonder. I mean, you played minor league baseball. You kind of wonder at some point, how did they even get a call up? When you're batting like 200, how do you get freaking called up to the majors? Because once they get called, a lot of those guys.
He's always had that clout, or he's just always been the dude, It's like no matter what numbers he put up, he was just always going to go. I think he did deserve to be in the major leagues. He was definitely good enough, and he had enough. He has so much still raw potential that you would take a chance on a kid like that coming out of the minors. That same raw potential now sitting on the bench is just what it looks like when you never leveled up. You just stayed the same.
Well,
and now he's older. He's probably in his mid 30s or something, early 30s.
Oh yeah, he's definitely 30. But so let me ask you. So you've seen the one thing that's always kind of bothered me about baseball is once a guy gets called up, if he makes it through the initial, time there, and he can hang for a year, it's like they never go away. And it doesn't matter and it's just, which I never understood. It's like, you got to have younger guys down there that can play better, that are coming up. But it's almost like he's got a year or 2 of experience, so he's got to be the guy. And they just move around for the rest of their careers, basically. But they stay in the majors, and they're still getting paid.
Yeah, it's two things. It's like if you had that hype around you like Baez did, you're always going to get the benefit of the doubt. getting to the majors, and then what they always say is it's really, really hard to get to the major leagues. It's like near impossible to stay in the major leagues because it's so hard to get called up and then perform immediately
Yeah.
unless you have all the hype around you, unless you got just all this extra stuff kind of coming up with you. But you're right. If you can break that barrier, if you can even just be sort of like a fly on the wall of a great team and contribute and just kind of plug in a little bit, not do anything amazing, you're a 10-year vet getting a retirement plan from Major League Baseball because they trust you. They know you're going to show up to all your games on time. You're not going to do anything crazy on the field. They weigh all that in.
It is crazy,
and you probably cost them nothing.
And those guys are still, well, and from our standpoint, it's a lot of money, but not for. So those guys are still making 3, 4, 5 million, which is like nothing.
Which is like nothing for that's. What
but
I'm
it's
saying.
like a normal.
They're more than happy to have you on the team.
But a normal person, that's a hell of a lot of money.
Yeah.
But it's always been a weird thing to watch. I watch some of these guys like, holy crap, this guy's been around. He's still batting 200, and they're still like trading him. I was like, who the hell's picking him up? It's a weird phenomenon. But
it's from the big league side. It's a lot of those guys, and I had met a lot of them in year 9. I think 2 of them, it was down for the Nationals. They were in year 9, and they had just gotten like released or something from the Nationals, and they were letting them just kind of work out at the field. And they were telling me they were really trying to make one more roster and be on a certain amount of games because then they get their pension from MLB. And they get that cut. But if they don't get on a team by a certain deadline and play a certain amount of games, they don't have to play anything. They just have to be on the roster. Then they don't get it. They get nothing. And both of those guys, I think one, no, I'm not even going to say any names because I'm probably wrong, but they both ended up getting picked up, playing great, playing several more years. And I knew they were so happy. And now they're doing great. They're receiving that check every year.
Yeah, hey, good for them, man. Like you said, it's ridiculously hard to make. There's a lot of talent that honestly never makes it up. That are guys that are probably as talented. Comes a numbers game.
But what is talent? I mean, I didn't face any pitchers throwing this hard, but I was on teams with and played against. I mean, dozens of guys throwing in the hundreds in the minor leagues, but they were not good. Like they couldn't throw strikes, but they threw harder than anybody in the major leagues right now.
That's interesting. Because that was during, I mean, when you were playing too, that was kind of the period where, everybody was hyped up about, remember Verlander used to, when he was with the Tigers, he was, I think he was a 100-mile-an-hour guy. That was like a cool, but you're right. I'm watching games now. I mean, these guys, everybody throws high 90s, can hit, and I'm sure if they wanted to, they could probably hit 100, once or twice. So it's really the game has changed a little bit. So interesting, it's kind of fun. We can sit here and ramble on about it. But I do have something. I know when the Yankees, I'm gonna put a holler out here to my buddy Ralph Sharp, who is more of a Yankees fan than me, if you can believe it. So Ralph, soon as our Yanks secure that playoff spot, buddy, we want to get you on the podcast and talk some shit, roll some balls about our Yanks. We'll gang up on the rest of these guys. And Ralph knows like he's a lot more history and details and stats that I do. I'm a watcher and an enjoyer. I know some of the stats, but he's kind of ridiculous. So we'll try and get him on there. Got another buddy, Mike Steely. We'll try and grab him. He's a golfer. He can talk golf with you guys that I cannot talk. So try and line some other guests up here coming up in the near future. Have a little bit of fun. All right.
I got one quick baseball question before we move on. Would you rather your team, the Yankees, make the playoffs and then lose in the first round, or not make the playoffs at all?
Oh, man. I'd rather they make it. I mean, I enjoy watching them, and I love the playoffs.
You're a fan that watches throughout the season, so maybe it's different for you.
Yeah. I mean, I do literally, I watch almost every night. I have the MLB package, and I watch the games every night. I'd rather see them in the playoffs. It's more exciting to have your team in the playoffs once they start. The games are fun. Fans are fun. It's kind of I know they play more than one game, but it's still kind of a fun thing to see. It's a do or die. And the thing on the playoffs, I don't care who you are. You probably have one awesome pitcher. We have Garrett Cole, but Garrett could have a shit game. And if he has a shit game, we have a pretty big drop off after him. And most teams, in all honesty, are in the same situation. They have a star guy, and then they have other guys. And so I love watching the playoffs. I'm excited. All right, any more baseball?
No more baseball.
All right, hey, let's talk. I know we were all watching college football this past weekend when Florida State was playing Georgia Tech, and that was a hell of a game.
Yeah, what are your just high-level thoughts on that one? Because that really surprised me.
I got to tell you, so Florida State took the ball right down the field, and I was like, no, this game is over. It's going to be – because I even think some of the analysts a couple of those guys said it's going to be a blowout. And I was like, all right.
Well, I think it was a 2-touchdown favorite, or at least double-digit favorite.
And it looked like that early. But as soon as Georgia Tech had the ball and they ran down, I was like, wait a minute. Florida State has no freaking defense. I mean, I got to be honest, they got no defense. They're going to get killed. I mean, Clemson's going to beat them. There's other teams that are going to beat them.
That's kind of my takeaway. And then what I'm thinking is like, is Florida State not good? Is Georgia Tech really good? Like, which one is it? It's so hard to tell off one game, but Georgia Tech looked good.
They did look good. But
the best Georgia Tech team I've seen in my life.
I will say this. I think that quarterback is the one that transferred from A&M, the Haynes King. And
okay. Yes.
All right, I'm going to say, he's going to have to show. He made some throws to me that were, I mean, kind of out of his ass, and I'm not sure that that's an every week thing. He made some.
The running backs looked great, though. The running game looked good.
Running game looked good, but then again, well, I will say I think Georgia Tech's offensive line has been around a while. I think they are a very powerful group, but man, Florida State was just getting blown off the ball. It was amazing. That was actually a lot of fun to watch.
I think DJU threw for under 200. I thought he looked not that. I mean, I thought he looked okay. He looked like an average college quarterback to me, which was like, that might have been the most surprising thing because I was prepared for just offensive explosion, and it just didn't come together. I know everything's new and it's still, and then you take a step back and you're like, okay, Florida State coming off for revenge. All offseason they're talking about how they're going to get back at everybody, make the playoffs, run the table, win the championship, and say you should have done this for us last year. But then they have to fly to Ireland. They have to play the week 0. They got to play. It's just so many variables in here that throws it. If my team was playing out there, I would not want to see Penn State playing anybody but like Furman if they're going overseas for a week 0 game. It's a lot going on.
It is, but I think the thought process is that they were just going to blow out. I mean,
absolutely, they thought that. And then after they scored the first touchdown, they were like, "All right,
yeah, it's over." I thought the same. I was like, I'm going to be watching this. I was already planning what am I going to do after halftime because I'm not going to watch the game anymore. And then it went out. But I do have to ask. So I was looking on social media, and DJ, he is getting crucified. Yeah. But I got to be honest, man. I number one, the defense lost the game. He didn't lose the game. Number two, I don't know about the play calling. He was definitely average, but I didn't really see any plays where he could, stand out too much either. So I'm kind of, I'm kind of
sure they rolled into Ireland with like a 20 play scripted thing, right? Not super out of the ordinary, maybe not that many. And Georgia Tech punched him right in the face.
They did,
and then they were like, "Oh shit. What are we going to do?" And then they kept trying kind of different things to almost figure out where are we strong on this team. And Georgia Tech was playing at a level kind of the whole game where they were just competing. And they definitely had more awareness of what their team is good at, bad at, who's our best player, who do we need to get the ball to. They were definitely much better on that.
I agree. Well, even so, you remember the last drive, right? They had that flub where they lost 12 yards or something.
I thought that was it.
Pretty much out of field goal range at that point. And then he throws that little dink pass, and that running back goes for 14. I'm like, how does that happen? That is Florida State has a shit defense, and they're gonna struggle unless they.
Did they get a new DC? Is it the same coaching staff?
I have no idea. I think I was most surprised that They just got run over, man. They literally
they
got run
flat
over.
out to me got beat. It wasn't a fluke. They went out there and just lost a game.
I did. So I got to ask you, who did you watch the pregame, the ESPN pregame stuff?
I had it on. I was doing a bunch of other stuff. I tried to catch it. Some of the I don't like Pat McAfee. I like him. I think he's fine TV personality, but sometimes he's too much, so I kind of walk away.
Yeah. So who the hell is Sheamus?
Sheamus is a I don't watch wrestling.
WWE guy or something?
I don't watch it. He's been doing it for like 10 years, 12 years.
Oh my God.
Like he's a superstar.
He was actually really well spoken. He knew his shit. He's the only one they picked Georgia Tech. But I was like, I turned it on. I'm like, Sheamus? Who the fuck is Sheamus? I never heard of the guy. Of course, I don't watch football.
Who else are they going to get in Dublin that's linked to football?
Hey, and it was all those scenes. Got to tell you that me and Mrs.
Did it take you back?
Me and Bunk were, yeah, it did actually. We were right when they kept showing that scene with the water and the little bridges. We were right there walking around. So it was kind of.
You were in Dublin.
Cool. We were in Dublin for the last part of the trip.
Maybe some of your friends you met were at the game.
I know yesterday. They were probably
Saturday.
There's a lot of people. I think that stadium they said held like 82,000, and it looked like it was packed. So it was fun.
82,000?
Yeah, because that's where they played. You remember I was telling you they played all those Irish games there. That's where the finals are always there, and it holds 82,000. And they sell it out, man, for all that stuff.
Wow, I didn't hear that. It didn't look that big.
Yeah,
I thought it was like a 40, like a nice good sized stadium here.
No, it's she's a big one. I mean, it's a good size. So that was fun. So we have this week. We got. I think. Do we start earlier than Thursday this week? Is there a Wednesday game?
Well, for FBS, it's Thursday. Maybe let me check if.
It seemed like somebody. I don't know. I can't remember. Somebody plays Wednesday, but Thursday we definitely have some good starts. I think there's a good game.
I think week one's looking really good. I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and then especially coming off of. I mean. Last Saturday, you had Florida State go down. Then you had New Mexico go down. Then you had SMU almost go down. I don't know how they come back and win that one. And I fell asleep for Hawaii, Delaware State. But it was like, oh, no, when's your team's next? You're like, oh, no, I don't want to play.
No, it's going to be fun. I think starting Thursday, I think there's a good game Thursday and Friday. Clemson plays one of those days.
State is Greg's team.
Greg's team?
The Fighting Williams. Yeah, the Fighting Williams play Western Carolina, ACC Network, 6 p.m.
There you go. And then we got games because it's Memorial Day. We got games all the way through Monday.
Oh, Thursday. Wow. I'm going to go down the schedule here because there's actually a couple good games. Colorado plays North Dakota State that night at 7 o'clock.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that. Yep, we got to watch that one.
Yeah, we can. Yeah, we'll stay. Let's not move on to Saturday because we can talk about Dion for a second. And then you got Utah playing Southern Utah, but at least you get to see Utah.
Yeah,
Minnesota and North Carolina. That's a good
game. And I do.
Before we move on, let's talk about Dion.
Yeah. What? Okay. What the hell with them? Okay, so
Dion minute here.
So So let me just set you stage on Bunk and Dion. So I was pretty excited for him. I've always, he's. I don't generally like those kind of guys that do. Even when he played, he was pretty ridiculous. But he's always had fun with it. He always seemed like a fun guy, and he never seemed all that serious. Now he's coaching, and even when he took over Colorado, I was like, all right, man, not my thing, but he's getting everybody jazzed up, and he's bringing some recognition. But when you start peeling that onion back a little bit, he's kind of an ass. So he's an ass to the players.
It's getting personal.
He is personal.
He's taking it personal.
I know. And it's like, I hate to say, it's like a little group. Him and his sons, they pick on people and they do shit.
Yes.
And now this friggin', he has in his contract where he can bar any reporter he wants. What the hell? Because he doesn't like what he's saying? I don't understand that, man. I don't get it.
Well, it should never be in a contract that you can pick. I mean, maybe I don't know if it's illegal or anything like that, but it's so weird that you could say this person by this specific name is no longer allowed to question me. I know. It's just very strange. It's coming from Dion. He should want bad press, medium press, good. He should want it all. He's Dion freaking Sanders, dude. He's like, what are you talking about? Some guy, he should be able to take a question. That guy was asking just ridiculous questions, but he should be able to take that and spin it in his however many years he's been doing this with the media. into more positive press for himself and Colorado and his kids. And he's taking it so personally. He doesn't even see that anymore.
No, and
he's not Neon Dion anymore.
He's not.
He took his glasses off and his eyes looked freaking ancient. And it's like, we see through the facade yet. It's like, please just drop the whole Neon Dion stuff. Be a super hard coach on these kids and go out and freaking win games and do the best you can and just be a normal person now. But he can't do it because right after these press conferences, the KFC commercial comes on with his sons, and then this other Progressive or Geico commercial, and it's weird. And then for him, he sees that his team's unranked. He's playing North Dakota State, and people are telling him he's going to lose. It's all very different for him, and he's not taking it very well.
No, he's not. And the thing is, he can do all that he wants. He was 4-8 last year. Unless they win, there is no Neon Dion. There's nobody. And I believe, I still believe he's only there to get, for his kids, for his sons. And I believe he's there to.
Not really helping his kids, though.
He's not. I don't think he's helping his kids because, honestly, his kids aren't what I would consider role models because of the crap I see him say and do. Yeah. And, the whole thing is just, I got to be honest, I don't even know what the hell a university is thinking at this point. They got to be thinking.
Well, they're under contract. They can't just. I mean, they could, but that would be a nuclear bomb to their program to just drop them like that.
Absolutely. But do you really think he'll be there after this year? His kids are gone. His own kids are gone. Travis Hunter's gone. I don't think he'll be there.
No, because he has to be a fucking coach. He would have to be an actual coach at that point and have the best interest of the kids in the program and above himself. And there's no way he would ever do that.
No. And the turnover, I don't know how deep you've kind of gotten into, but obviously the turnover with kids every year, the 2 years, has just been horrendous.
Course, yeah.
But the turnover on his coaching staff has been the same way. He's turned everything over. He's just, I don't see how he's good for anything at this point in college football or kids or
from
whatever.
Colorado's perspective, how much money have they made? They probably upgraded a lot of their facilities. They probably pulled in more students to their school. They've certainly raised more money through sports programs and merchandising. They are the ultimate winner in all this, just from a financial perspective. But for a long-term health of your program, this is cancer. It's really bad.
And I don't even like the guy in is it Feinbaum? Is that the guy on ESPN? Yeah.
He's kind of turned on him too recently.
He actually did. I was reading today. He's like totally reversed on it. He's kind of like everybody else says, hey, we thought he was okay, but this is just like ridiculous at this point.
It's just painfully obvious to see it on TV. And again, he's just going about it all the wrong way. We don't have to keep beating up.
No. But I guess I'll just say I'm rooting for North Dakota State. So.
I'm rooting for North Dakota State. Yes, that's a long prediction.
So listen, so if you have the schedule, does Clemson play Friday? Don't they play a Friday game this week?
There's Friday games too. Oklahoma, Temple, Michigan State, FAU, Duke, Wisconsin's playing, TCU, Stanford. No Clemson. Clemson has the 11 o'clock ABC against Georgia on Saturday.
Against Georgia, okay.
There's no way that they're going to put that on a Friday.
No,
I'm surprised they have it at 11 a.m.
I am too. Man, it's gonna be good. I'm looking forward to this weekend. It's gonna be a great weekend for football. We're back.
Wow, Clemson, Georgia. Yeah, I know. Yeah, it comes at you fast too, and I love how they do it. Now that we got football back, you'll start to get, like, if you have cable still, you'll get that weird like Wednesday game you've never heard of, like Linwood versus somebody, and then Thursday will kind of ramp up. So there's always something to watch.
No, playoff
baseball.
I do the same. So I just, now that you mention that, and then we'll get off of this, but I was looking at where they rolled it, who's playing, and Kansas is playing a team called Lindale. Who the hell is Lindale?
That's
Linwood.
What I said.
Oh, it's Linwood?
It's Wooderdale. I don't know which one it is. But I was like, what the fuck?
I've never heard of them. Come on, man.
It's like that fake school that played several years ago.
It does sound like that. Yeah. All right. Well, we'll watch it if it's on.
I think, did we do predictions? We didn't do any predictions. Let's run through. I'll pick out some games here for this week, and you give me.
Yeah, let's do that.
Let's do that. We'll go rapid fire. Let's start on the Thursday game. So let's find a good one here. Oh, let's start with that Minnesota, North Carolina.
I'm going Minnesota. Rowing the boat. Row the boat.
Yeah, you don't have to do any predictions if you want, or scores or anything. But
no, I'll just do a prediction.
Right? Yeah,
I'm going Minnesota.
I could see either team winning this one. I don't know let me see who they have favored in that one. I'm interested. a 45-55 split in favor of North Carolina.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's a toss-up.
Yeah, that's not so bad. Who else on Thursday? None. We're going to move past Thursday. Friday, anything good? No. All right. Well, Clemson, Georgia, Saturday.
Georgia. Got to go Georgia.
Yeah, you got to. Even though I kind of like Clemson this year, I think Georgia's going to put a stomping on them. Penn State, West Virginia.
You know, I'm going to go Penn State because I'm picking them.
Scary,
but I got to be honest with you. West Virginia is getting a lot of hype this year.
I know.
I don't think they're the old West Virginia side. That might be a game. Where are they? Are they playing at West Virginia?
They're playing at West Virginia at 11 a.m.
That might be a game, man.
I think it's the big noon kickoff on Fox. I know. I actually realized I didn't look into West Virginia. I don't know. Are they a running team passing? I think they're a big run team.
I don't know, but I heard some people like some of these read a lot of stuff that West Virginia's getting picked pretty high. So I'm like, oh crap, okay,
yeah,
might be a game.
Yeah, it's a great game if you win it, but it's one that's like coming out, especially the first game of the year. Miami versus Florida, 2:30 Saturday.
You know, I'm going Miami on that one. I think Miami can take them.
Right? I think you have to. Let me find a couple more. Let's do a couple more.
Texas, Colorado State. Got them going Texas.
Oh, Texas A&M, Notre Dame.
You know, I think that's going to be a good game, but I'm going Notre Dame. I'm really thinking Notre Dame's going to go
really high on Notre Dame this year.
I am. I think they're.
I didn't realize they can never get a bye in the playoffs. I just found that out yesterday because they're not affiliated with the conference.
Right. They can just.
I didn't.
Yep.
That's so. What are they just going to immediately join the Big Ten?
No, I don't think so.
I mean, for real,
they're going to. You know what? Right? They stay independent because of their contracts with the network. As an NBC or somebody or whoever it is, they're not going anywhere. They make a lot of money.
Do you think they could just peel the football program into a?
I think they
football
talked about that. I think at one point they were going to join over there with Clemson and Florida State and those guys, but I don't think so. I think they're going to stay independent. They don't really need to join anything except for now. I mean, they won't get a bye, but honestly, I think that's okay. I think they're fine.
I don't see the program being okay with that, or at least I don't see them joining a conference either.
They're not going to join a conference. It's a money thing. They make a ton of money off of the NBC.
Yeah. All right, 2 more predictions. I forgot it because it's Labor Day. Sunday we got a game.
Okay,
it's a big one. LSU versus USC.
You know, I'm not going to go against LSU. I mean,
they're favored by 4 here. I don't know how you could bet against them in this game.
And you know, the thing is funny because the coach at USC was going to go out there and just remember he went from Oklahoma. He was going to turn everything around. He's kind of in
the hot seat a little bit.
They're going to do. Seat. Yeah, he turned that program into a mediocre program at this point. He lost that. I mean, if you can't win with Caleb Williams, I'm not sure how they're going to win. Without him. So
with whoever is behind. Yeah, I don't even know who they got, but you're not going from a Heisman candidate to whoever.
Yeah, and they lost. Yeah, so I don't.
Especially when USC traditionally is a wide receiver school.
Yep.
Their passing game all the way. Yeah, I got to go LSU too. Okay, last prediction. Monday, Labor Day, 6:30 p.m. on ESPN. Florida State, Boston College at Florida State.
God, man. You got to think Florida State comes back. Boston College is not a bad team. I'll take Florida State because I don't think they're going to win 2 in a row.
A lot like Georgia Tech, kind of same style team.
They're not a bad team. I mean, it's just going to come down to, if they can stop Florida State. I think Florida State will kind of regroup and come back. I think they're going to struggle.
They get the extra few days, right? They get an extra couple days on their trip because they play the early one, then play on Monday. That's a weird schedule for them, but you figure they come back out and win pretty big in that one.
They'll correct. They got to be able to correct unless their personnel just isn't there, which I find hard to believe. They'll correct whatever and they'll win a few. All right, good stuff. Can't wait for it. Gonna switch just for 1 second. I don't want to talk a lot on it because I don't have a lot of information now. When we get closer, we'll talk about it. NFL. They're making their final cuts tomorrow, I believe.
Thursday's the first game.
No, they don't play for the next. I think it's the next. I think they got another week. Right.
I thought it was this Thursday.
I don't think so. They're doing the final cuts tomorrow. I don't believe it's this Thursday yet.
Oh, it's September 5th. I saw that wrong.
Yeah.
I was excited for that.
Yep.
I was excited to realize I don't have whatever subscription service it is that I would need to buy. Peacock.
Well, I'll hook you up with something. But I am excited. I'm excited about the NFL. I think I'm really wanting to see what some of these teams do. And I saw the Dallas Cowboys are going to pay CeeDee Lamb. I saw that today. They're going to give him $136 million. So he's going to be like the highest non-quarterback out there. They still haven't paid Dak, so I don't think they're going to pay Dak. I don't know what they're doing with him.
Are they just negotiating the contract back and forth? Or are they
don't have to. I mean, to his credit, he's not staying out of practice or anything. It's his last year of his contract, so I think they may just wait and see what he does.
Feels like time to let him go.
I mean, everybody's down that he is a good quarterback. He doesn't do much in the playoffs, but either did Tony Romo. I mean, they have guys that do good during the season. They never really materialize.
You can't be a quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys. You can't. It's an impossible job.
It is. That's a tough
Probably
team.
The hardest job in all of sports is you can never live up to the expectations of the people around here.
Yep, I agree 100%. But yeah, I want to see. So a couple of the big battles is Drake May. Is he going to play out in New England? Good Lord, I don't watch preseason. I watched like 10 minutes. New England has literally the worst offensive line in the world, and I hope they don't put that kid behind him, man.
They don't play anybody preseason now, right? Because they changed the way they do it. Isn't it much less? So none of the starters actually do anything.
Well, so this last week they've been trying to, like, teams like New England, they're trying to determine who's going to be their quarterback. But their offensive, God, man, don't put that kid. Don't make him suffer back there. They'll ruin him if they put it back there. Honestly, they're that bad, dude. They are friggin' horrific. And if you read anything about them,
possible in the NFL,
I don't know, but they just they're bad. They're bad. He's going to get killed back there if they stick him back there. So I hope they don't start him. So a lot of rookies are starting this year. Got Jaden Daniels. Got the Caleb man. See what he does. I'm really curious to see how he does.
Yeah, I'm really curious to see if he can like lead a team and to see how the team kind of follows him. And just interested to see him on the sidelines. To be honest, how he's acting.
I agree. And he can make me eat my words. I don't care for the guy.
Yeah, for sure. He could be the biggest dick in the world if he wins. Who cares?
Yeah, and I've been watching on HBO where they have where they follow the teams around. They're doing it on the Bears this year. But my God, it is so mild. I don't even watch it. There's no fire. They're so conservative on all the things they're doing. It's not like some in the past where those guys are, cursing, yelling, and screaming at each other. So it hasn't been worth watching. But everything's about Caleb Williams on the whole thing. So we'll see.
How many yards do you think Saquon's going to get?
I think Saquon's going to have a good year, man.
I think he's going to have a good year. I mean, if he stays healthy,
if he stays healthy, I agree.
But he'll have a much better like protection to go at his new team, Philadelphia, right?
Which is
great. They love him in Pennsylvania too.
Yeah, good for him. I mean, I think he wanted to stay with the Giants, to be honest with you, but I can't blame him. There's
no future really there.
No future, and they weren't really using him that well, and just not a good team to be on. The other guy, I think,
they went from Miles Sanders to Saquon, two Penn State guys, and who Saquon was the starter over Miles Sanders at Penn State. How awesome is that? That
is pretty cool. Saquon, if he can stay healthy, he's got a good 2 or 3 years in him, but he's got to stay healthy, man. He's been out a lot. The other, got the Jets. We're going to see if they can what Aaron's going to do. Aaron Rodgers out there. Of course, he's not playing in any preseason games.
Yeah, he's coming in completely cold.
And God, they're a mess, man. They're just a freaking clown show out there too. I mean, I hope he does okay. I hope they do something, but I don't see it happening too much. I'm still going with they're not San Diego Chargers anymore. I'm still going with the Chargers out west. I like them. I like Herbert and I like Harbaugh. That Harbaugh. Don't like the other Harbaugh. So I'm really rooting for them. I'd like to see them do well finally. They've always been close, but they're another team. They just aren't. They can't get over the hump. And he's a great quarterback. Hopefully the new coach kind of brings them along. And I like the Dolphins. I like to coach down with the Dolphins. I like Tua. We'll see.
A lot of positivity out of what I hear from Dolphins. It's nothing but good things.
Yeah.
I think the players respect that coach. The coach respects. It's like all great stuff.
Yeah. No, I think it's a good atmosphere down there with Mike Daniels. I think it's he's done a good job. I like to see him win again. Be great. I like Jacksonville as well. I mean, I've always been Trevor Lawrence. That's my problem with NFL. There's a lot of teams I like, and there's teams I absolutely hate. So, I can kind of go. There's a lot of teams I can go with. I used to be a Browns fan, but I can't deal with Deshaun Watson, all the crap. And
last time I said what is the whole massaging thing? I don't even know anything about this.
Oh my God, are you kidding me?
You guys said the massage. Yeah, I forgot to look it up.
Well, he got sued. I
can figure it out.
So yeah, he was getting massages. Deshaun Watson. He was getting massages, and he was trying to get extra. So he was propositioning them, and all these women came forward, and was like, "This guy's a friggin' slime ball," and he got sued by 30 women or something. That said he was, doing crap, with the towel and taking it off. And it's just, you got to read about
Watson. It. Wow. I didn't know about that. Man, if I am the management there, I am thinking massive confidence issues going on with this.
But they signed him after that. It was when he wasn't with them. I was like, why would you sign this guy to a guaranteed $200 and some million contract? And he has done nothing for Cleveland. Zero. He hadn't even played that much, and when he has, he sucked. So you know what? I just say, you know what, Cleveland, that you get whatever it is.
I didn't know that. No, I don't want to see them win, but eventually I do want to see them win, but not this.
Not with him.
Next year.
Not with him.
Not with him. I don't like that. I don't like that.
I like the team. I just don't like him, and I cannot root for him. I liked it when they had Baker, but they didn't really give Mayfield much of a shot there.
I never understood how these athletes always it's all so easy for them.
I know.
All they have to do is go outside. That's all they have to do.
I know.
They literally can do nothing. And but they go out of their ways to hurt themselves in these.
Doesn't make sense.
It's always sexual, so it's so weird.
It is very bizarre, and you're right though. They're idolized by so many people. It's not like they even have to try.
And they think to themselves, "I'm going to go get a handy at the spa parlor down the road." What, are you kidding? He could just go to the bar wherever, and he'll have 15 options that'll do whatever that he wants to them,
and probably better options. To be honest with you, I'm sure there'll be better options.
Yeah,
I agree 100%. But you know what? He's a slimy dude, man. And if you get a chance to do a little, you can do a little G2 on that.
Cleveland, I'm back on you next year.
Yeah, as soon as they dump him, I'll be back Cleveland fan.
I got some questions for you on the NFL season. So this first week, who do you think has the biggest line? Who's the biggest favorite to win?
To win it all?
No, just to win this week in their matchup.
Week one?
It's a pretty considerable jump for one matchup.
Let's see. I got to go look. And there's one team that's kind of being...
There's one team that's like over a field goal over all the other games.
Oh, really? I haven't even gotten that far to looking.
We've already talked about, you were kind of dumping on this team earlier.
I was dumping. No, oh, God. So it's got to be, I don't know.
It's Cincinnati over New England.
Okay. That makes sense. New England's bad,
it's got to factor in the quarterback situation or the offensive line, like you were saying. That's a 9-point NFL line. That's
huge.
Big.
That's huge in the NFL.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm looking at the line. So I didn't realize. So the first game is Baltimore and Kansas City. That's a hell of a game on Thursday night.
Yeah, yep.
That's gonna be, and even the Green Bay Philadelphia game will be good. Green Bay's gotten a lot better. Wow, those are some good games, man. I got to see.
I told you it comes at you fast.
It does come at you fast. Jacksonville plays Miami. So a couple of teams I'm kind of interested. I'm kind of interested to see what Denver does. I like Bo Nix. I hope he does well. Dallas plays Cleveland to start off. I'm not a Dallas fan, but I hope they absolutely kick Cleveland's ass. That's one of the few times, Dallas, I'll be rooting for you, buddy. And there's some good games. Arizona, what do you think about Arizona? What do you think about the quarterback out there?
You know what? I know less than nothing about Arizona.
I
I
mean,
couldn't even tell you. I couldn't tell you a single fact about Arizona, to be honest, because I forgot they were a football team.
you're kidding. So Kyler Murray's
I mean, I didn't
their
actually forget their team. I just don't know anything
yeah,
about them.
Kyler Murray's the quarterback out there.
Oh yes,
He was hurt for a while. He came
yeah.
back. He's you know what? He's not bad. He's pretty good. They might make some noise this year. I'm not
NFL to me, it's I know a little bit about like a handful of teams, and then there's a handful of teams that I couldn't tell you a single thing about. And like Las Vegas, I couldn't tell you anything about them. Denver, I know nothing. Arizona, I know nothing. I don't know. It's just I've no room in my brain for them, I guess.
yeah. I mean, Arizona's like a team. You don't actually see them a ton. Las Vegas too.
Right.
You don't see them a ton, but they had a pretty good draft. Not sure they're going to quarterbacks going for this year. I don't know. I don't know who they went with for QB, but I think, well, they cut. Let's see. It's not Aiden O'Connell. It's the other dude. Yeah, great. Got a sports podcast. Can't even freaking name them.
I told you I don't know any. I can't help you.
I know, but they did. They
gotta brush up on my NFL if I'm coming on this.
Well, you're gonna have to.
I don't pay attention.
You're gonna have to here real soon if you're gonna be picking. But they did get Brock Bowers, the tight end.
Oh yeah, yep.
And he's a playmaker. It'd be good. Yeah, good. We'll talk a little bit more maybe next week when we get a little closer.
So give me let's prepare real quick because we're talking about NFL. And can we transition over to fantasy football?
Yeah, that's where I was. That's exactly where I was going.
Okay, good. Because I need you to tell me how to play fantasy football.
I don't know how to play.
Okay.
I asked what kind of
we're doing PPRs. PPRs.
I was Googling PPR. It's points per reception or something. And I was like, okay, so you don't want to. I don't even know what I'm supposed to be drafted. I guess you don't even draft a quarterback till late, from what I understand.
Who do you get first? Receiver?
You want? I guess you want either running backs or wide receivers first. And I bought a I'm sick. I bought a fantasy football draft day magazine, so to help me because I don't know what I'm doing.
Is that PPR specific?
It is PPR specific.
Oh my god, I joked about that.
And I'm going to tell you where I got you too. I got a tip sheet with the top 100, and as people are picking, I'm just going to start marking them off unless somebody I know is hurt.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm gonna leave the rankings however it is, and then just join the call and let it auto. And I think I'm just gonna whoever I get is who I get.
Yeah, you don't want to do that.
Dad, I don't even know half of the NFL. I don't know half the players.
I know, but just a little tip. I got 100, top 100. I'll copy it for you.
My least favorite thing is Sundays when I go out to eat somewhere with Olivia at like 4 or something. And then there's always a football game on. And then a score happens. Everybody yells and then checks their phone for their fantasy team. I'm like, get out of here, you losers. Get out of here.
I don't even know how to use the app. I honestly know nothing. I don't know how to do the draft. I don't know how to use the app. I don't know anything except for Pick has sent us stuff. He's the commissioner. I know he couldn't. I was laughing as he was trying to herd all these people into a draft night. And I texted him on the side. I said, dude, make a draft night. And they can't make it. They can't make it because you're never going to get. I don't even know how many people are in at 12 or whatever's in this league. But I don't know how to. I don't know like how to trade. How to like. Do you set each week? You set your like if you're got guys who have a bye, you don't want them playing that week. You want to make sure you got to check it like every Wednesday.
This is already so annoying. It's even hearing you talk about trading and buying, not knowing the rules already has me to where I want to run away.
I love it. No, we're going to do it.
It's so annoying.
The only thing I can tell you is what everybody else has told me. If you get the first pick, you want Christian McCaffrey. Everyone has told me that.
What if I am like the 7th pick? Who do I go with?
The 7th pick?
Just like mid-range here.
You want Jamar Chase if you're the 7th pick. I got my book here. That's assuming those guys in front of him don't. Yeah. So Bijan Robinson probably be a good one this year. Saquon's up here. Back. Top guy. Tyreek Hill, CeeDee Lamb, Justin Jefferson. I mean, it's the guys you know.
My question is, this is where I hate fantasy football because it's not real football. Say a guy has a great game, 120 yards rushing, Saquon, they wouldn't do this to Saquon, but maybe someone else. And then they give the touchdown to the backup. So the backup's getting all the points, right?
I honestly don't know how the points really, really work. I don't even know. So here's what I don't understand. How does a quarterback, I think we're sounding like real idiots, but I don't really understand.
We already do. I think
I don't
you
know.
Get a point per completion. This might be right. You get a point per completion and then a point per every 10 yards.
I got it. I didn't even see this little section here. So here's your scoring system. Passing touchdowns, 4 points. A passing yard is a point for every 20 yards. An interception is a -1. A rushing or receiving touchdown is 6 points, which is why you want receivers or running backs.
Oh, that's why you want a running quarterback.
Rushing or receiving yards.
Mahomes is probably really good.
Is one? No, he's not top quarterback. And receptions equals 1 point for every 2 catches. So if you get a rushing or receiving touchdown, which is why you want a running back or a receiver in the first couple rounds. And then the top quarterback I have,
at work.
My top quarterback's Josh Allen, then Jalen Hurts, then Mahomes. Because Josh Allen does run for a lot of touchdowns. When they get down, and so does Jalen Hurts. Once they go down there, those guys, they like to do their little formations to get the quarterback in. So there you go. I didn't even see that little section. That was the whole thing I didn't understand.
Yeah,
I will be well prepared. God.
I shouldn't complain. I did fantasy baseball, and that is much more involved.
God, it's 162 games. Fantasy baseball.
MLB.com used to have, they got rid of it many, many years ago, but you could just set your lineup once per week and it locked on Sunday, and you just set one player per position, and then you just played the whole week, and whatever happened. You couldn't change them.
Mm-hmm.
And that was so fun. And then it went away, and that was the last time I ever did fantasy sports.
I think this is just the
week. This is going to actually force me to watch NFL games now.
No, you don't have to watch. I'm assuming somewhere, whatever that app is we're playing on is going to update all our stuff. I don't know. I'm going to mess with the pick.
What place is your prediction for pick and Big G?
In fantasy?
Yep. They're much better than us.
Yeah. I'm number one. I think Boomer's going to kill everybody because he has like spreadsheets.
Did you hear him on your own podcast?
I did.
That's ridiculous.
I didn't have any idea what he was talking about. So I got to assume and then he said he couldn't make the draft because he's in some commander league or some I don't even know what the hell he said.
Yeah,
what the hell are you talking about, dude? I have no idea what he's doing. I'm going to predict him.
Oh my God. Everybody had another draft they were going to. And
I know. So yeah, I don't think we're going to do well. I think Pick will do okay because he'll stick with it and he's a stats guy.
Oh yeah, he'll be.
I don't know about Big G. He's done them before too. I think. I got the magazine.
Set it and forget it, guy. Set it and forget it.
I got the magazine though. I'm gonna think I'm gonna do okay. I don't know what I'm doing. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, I think I'm going in cold. I'm not gonna look at anything.
Oh my God! All right, so look, wide receiver. Let me just give you a quick tip. Wide receivers and running backs until like the 4th round, and then go for a quarterback. Don't pick a quarterback earlier.
Okay,
that's everything I've read. You know everything I know right now.
All right,
quarterback's not the most important person. I guess.
So you get do they do that flex thing where you have to pick a defender or a team?
There's a flex. You got to pick a defense, and then there's a flex guy, whatever that means.
Oh my God, who is good at defense in the league? Give me the top 3.
God, I don't know. Defenses: San Francisco, Baltimore, Dallas, Cleveland, Buffalo, Jets, Kansas City. That's just a projection. I don't know if maybe that's true. I mean, I thought, who knows? These things don't know what the hell they're doing.
Yeah, I mean, they were written so long ago anyways.
This is just updated, baby. I got the most current.
But there's probably been injuries this week.
Well, yeah, they do have J.J. McCarthy in here. So. don't pick him. And don't pick anybody that got cut or anything.
Yeah.
I think you'd be all right. All right, that's going to be fun. We'll knock that out, I think, Wednesday night is... I don't know. I'm going to let Pick figure out how to do all that shit.
Okay.
All right, man. What else you got?
I think that's it for sports. I know for something more local here, Olivia's started up her gymnastics practices recently. She's moved up a level, and it's really ratcheted up. And I just want to throw out her new coaches are just amazing. They're so cool. It's watching them. And they brought their daughter the other day, who's a gymnast at Penn State, doing like her routine and practicing, and it's all the stuff I did in baseball and football, and it never looked this like crazy. Like when you see a good baseball player, it looks like they're just doing stuff that normal people kind of do, like throwing and running. In gymnastics, when they're doing like the stuff on bars, it's like, why the hell? How is it humanly possible to do these things? So, anyways, I'm excited because they're learning all their new routines for the upcoming season. It's been, for me, that's been the biggest sports stuff for the past like year or so. So it's exciting.
That's awesome. And no, her new coaches are Olympic. They have Olympic pedigree.
They're ex-Olympians.
Right?
Yeah, one, I don't know their last name. Well, I know it. I can't pronounce it because they're from Russia. But one won gold in Sydney Olympics for rings. Is the husband and the wife. I don't think she placed, but she was on the rhythmic or artistic gymnastics.
Wow.
For the one with like the accessories.
Yeah, yeah. I know what you mean. Yeah.
And we saw one day, we saw them and we watched their YouTube videos, and it's like, wow, these people are ridiculous.
And just think, your daughter's getting that coaching. I mean, you can't get any better than that.
Yeah.
And she's young.
I mean,
so
I don't think you literally can unless you're like in some kind of Olympic pre-team or something.
That's fantastic. I don't think I'll see the only thing I've done, I think trying to keep up with all this fantasy and all this crap. Still doing the sports cards, not buying anymore. I haven't bought boxes in a long time. Either that or any of the TCG stuff. But just trying to keep an eye on some of these. I'm trying to figure out if I want to, like, what year of baseball I want to collect. So
I was going to say that you're nestling now. You've seen the industry, or you found what you like. Now you're kind of nestling in and trying to pinpoint what should I go after now.
Yeah. And that's exactly where I'm at. I picked up a couple from 1958, which are
Is that
signed.
old enough for you? I thought you were going a little older.
Well, I'm trying to go a little older. I'm trying to keep it where it's not crazy prices too. 58's a nice year. I had the T206s from the late 1800s, early 1900s, which I still like, and you can still get those fairly cheap, so they're not too bad. But I'm trying to hone in on what I don't want. If you can get so scattered that you end up just having too much stuff.
It's easy.
One thing I don't want to do is the new stuff anymore. I will say this. Outside of, I would love to get some. I do have some Aaron Judge rookie cards. I would like to get something signed, but the prices are. There's no way I would even attempt to do that during baseball season. The prices are just astronomical right now. He's about the only guy that I would kind of look at, current player, because I'm a Yankee fan. I like him. But I'm trying to get my niche. Do I want to collect old Yankee guys?
That's what I was going to say. Maybe you just go into Yankee greats.
Yeah, I could do that. There's old Brooklyn Dodger guys, right? New York. So I gotta sit down and kind of figure out where I want to do and get focused. And I think that would be helpful instead of being scattered, because there's just too much stuff out there. Too much crap too.
Yeah, I haven't done the cards in a while. We went to the card show a month ago. When was that? Last month?
Yeah, about 3 weeks ago.
Yeah. Okay. Last month we went to. I didn't buy a single card because I checked out of the sports cards. They're really cool to open and stuff, but they're so expensive. And then if you don't hit anything, it's just garbage. So
it is garbage.
Not even a value at all. So I jumped back over to comic books pretty heavily the past month.
And just the feeling when you spend that much money and you don't get. I mean, you don't get anything. I get when you're watching like breakers and stuff, and then you go, "Woo, look at that!" And then you open it and you just spent $400 and got like two guys you've never heard of signed. Like, oh God, that's a bad feeling.
And if you do it online, they'll be like, "Oh, it's a great pick" or something. You're like, don't fucking lie to me. How dare you lie to me?
I know. So I've done the same. Comic books are still right up there. Still love my comic books. Got a lot of those, and I know we're jointly collecting those. And we have a little joint.
Yeah,
database.
I actually, just so you know, I redid our tracker completely the other day because I had bought a bunch, so I needed to update it. I've sort of, same way you're doing that. I know this is not a comic book podcast, but the way you've kind of nestled in for sports, I've found my niche. I'm going after like the medium runs, Silver Age only, or gold. And I don't do any mod or anything unless it's a weird one past like 15 center. I'm not interested in.
No, the old stuff is obviously where it's at. I love the older stuff, and most of our stuff is older, Silver Age kind of stuff. A couple golds, not too many.
I picked up my first gold the other day, Adventures of the Fly, and I saw you add one.
I love the Fly.
I got number 6.
That's awesome.
I picked
love
it
it.
up for, I think it was $12. I only got it because it would be the only gold age book, and I thought it looked kind of cool, and it had the fly on it. So I was
That's
like, oh, I gotta
awesome.
get this
No,
one.
I love it, man. I love it. Yeah, put it in the database. I'll check it out.
It's in there.
All right. Well, cool, man. Anything else you got?
No, we're in the middle of it. We got baseball playoffs. We got football. This is prime time right here. Like I said, we had a chance of rain today. It didn't rain, but it's not 100, so it's all looking up.
Hey, you know what's funny? So I live in a little bit outside of Austin in a suburb. It poured here for almost an hour.
No way.
Oh, I friggin' like it was a down. I was so excited. I sat on the porch and watched it. It was like a show. It poured for like an hour. I mean, it was a deluge here. And that's crazy.
I was so excited. I was sitting on my patio and it didn't rain.
That's so funny. I mean, you're in the south, but I'm up north and you're south, but
yeah, we're pretty far from each other, like driving wise. But yeah, we're both in Austin, just on opposite
that
sides.
was awesome. Oh no, I got all the rain. I loved it. Finally got the friggin' rain. So we're good. All right, man. So we're getting ready for the weekend. Pick. Hope you're out there doing good, taking care of the kids, doing your thing. And we'll see you here next week. Big G, little G, I don't know. Where's Big G? Didn't make it. He was supposed to make it.
Big G, just meaty G here.
Big G, family life. Got it. So we got me and Medium G. Medium G, anything take us out?
Let's just get a nice rolling balls and get out of here.
Hey, let's do it. All right. Hey, everybody. Hope you join us next time. We'll be right here. And in the meantime, we'll be rolling balls. See you next time.